will be. Because I'm truly convinced, young friends, that the business of life is to challenge us. The business of life is to challenge us, and therein lies our greatest learning. Challenge you will be. Maybe small challenges. May not be, as I said, God forbid you ever hear the word cancer. But challenge you will be in small ways, in little ways. And when you're challenged so, instead of succumbing to that anger, to that sadness, to that depression that society will throw at you, and your own weakness will throw at you, that is the time when your core strength will come to your rescue. To me, my core strength was and is and will be dance. But that core strength becomes this big lion that Durga was riding. That core strength will become the resilience that will come to you from the pit of your stomach and the base of your spine. It will inform you in so many ways. It'll push you, and it'll hold you by the hand and take you over the setback, obstacle, roadblock, whatever you want to call it. Help you ride it out with equanimity, with smile, and succeed to overcome that challenge in the best way possible. So I come back to you, to literally pleading with all of you, imploring all of you. Now is the time for you to identify those talents, those passions. It doesn't mean you have to be the next best dancer. You can be the worst bathroom singer. It doesn't matter. As long as it is something that you love and you want to do and you continue to do it. It could be anything. It could be cooking, gardening, painting, writing, whatever. It could even be coding, God forbid, but it could be coding also. Even if it is coding, if that inspires you, if that is what defines who you are, then you've arrived. The minute you pursue and chase and nurture and nourish and cherish that God-given talent, then you have literally arrived, because you are unique. Remember that. None of you, men, women, to me that is empowerment. For me, empowerment doesn't mean being one of the many millions. For me, to be empowered means to be that unique person that God made you, that sent you here with this body, mind, spirit frame, so that you go back after this journey on this planet with learning, with wisdom, and with growth. Because people say, we're all goal-oriented people, A to B, we all move from A to B. But I beg to differ. I believe the journey is between B and D, birth and death, 2 doors. You must be thinking, why is she talking morbid like this? No, we'll all die, and thank God for it. But between B and D is the alphabet C. Choice. Make the right choices for your life. Make the choices, make informed choices, make very clearly informed choices of how you want your life to be. And that choice comes back to what your head is thinking. Throw the rubbish out of your heads. I always say, designer clothes in the body, muck in the head. Is that what we want? Is that what our lives have become? That you're willing to say anything and be nasty. Rather than sharing this banal WhatsApps and Facebooks, share inspiration for each other. Share the power of oneness. After all, we are just 2 castes in this world. Men, women, the rest is irrelevant. We're just 2. We don't need to fight each other. We can't do without each other. We need you, you need us. After all, men need women, women need men. As mothers, as you said, as wives, sisters, brothers. Yeah, only we can have babies, yet. So that's probably the only difference. And I said, yet. So I think what we should do is education with the caveat of an equal engagement in the arts, which you're already doing, providing access, which you're already doing, and making sure that your core strength is grown. Your core strength needs to be grown in very, very different ways. Why? Because it is the ignition key of a great life. Because it will step you up from the mundane and the boring. Your core strength will make you a different human being. Because it will help you reach into the power of the universe and grab what you want. Seriously. You may think I'm just talking through my hat, but it has worked with me. It's possible that your core strength will become so powerful, and that will make a difference in who you are. Because your innate calling and your supreme talent becomes a superconductor that will tap into the powers of the universe. Because passion, my friends, is the big move. It is the biggest momentum of your lives. Because you owe it to yourself. Because it helps you provide and gives you extraordinary leaps of faith. Because tomorrow, if you want to be an innovator, remember, it is your unique talent that will come into play. Remember what Steve Jobs said? The best of innovation happens at the intersection of technology and arts. You want to be an innovator, you want to be a Steve Jobs, you must tap into that supreme talent that God has given you and nourish it in such a way that that becomes something that you can use, to leverage upon, literally become the springboard. Because this unique talent will pulverize obstacles that are thrown in your way, as it happened with me, as you've seen it happen with me. Because this commitment to your personal dreams, to your powerful passion, will become the true pathway for comebacks from setbacks. Because it is really possible for you to tread as many tracks as possible. Don't let anyone tell you, okay, you're an engineer, that's all you need to do. No. You can be as multifaceted as you want. See me. See Vasant, we're all there. And we're all doing very well. Don't let anyone tell you that, oh, as a woman, your job is only this. That is the empowerment I seek from you. The empowerment is not about equality and all that we've achieved. The empowerment is, what will you be telling yourself, and what are you being told, and what are you accepting with that? Is someone telling you that, okay, abhi padhai vidhai ho gaya, tum shadi karo, and that's it? If that is what you want, no issues. But if that's not what you want, then to make that choice of making that difference, again, rests in you. So I'm throwing back, say, don't seek your empowerment from outside. That empowerment, in which direction you want to go, comes from within. Don't let a Western ethic or an aesthetic define what women empowerment means to you today. What it means to you is different. You are a different human being. You are a different society. You come from a different ethos, a different philosophy, different family. So don't let what your sister did or your friends did define what empowerment means to you. Empowerment to you must come from what you want out of your life and how you will go about getting it without rupturing and creating in a beautiful, harmonious way. To me, that is empowerment. To me, the empowerment means not seeing yourself as someone less than anyone or more than anyone. As I said, we're just two castes, men and women, and we have no business in fighting with each other. Because, my friends, leadership is a choice you make. Leadership is a choice you make. It's not something that's going to be handed down to you. Success is a choice you make. You make the choice and you see it happen. Happiness is a choice you make. Don't let anyone tell you, if I find this most handsome man, I'll marry him, I'll be happy. No guarantees. You have to first be happy. Then everything follows. So these are choices you make, and these are just few I'm sharing, and I'm sure you can add your own. And that, to me, is empowerment. To me, empowerment is when I can stand up and make the choices I want and carry it through in a logical, beautiful, emotional way, in whichever way works for you. And that empowerment will come from an engagement and a nourishment of your own supreme talent. If you're able to find these pathways, and if you're able to stop the clutter and clamor and rubbish in the head, and train your mind to be the person you want it to be, you've arrived. You'll be the leaders, you'll be speaking like this. The trick is to find those. Remember, it is your life, and it's up to you to make the choice you want. And it's possible to make midterm correction also, any time. As my favorite writer, Wayne Dyer, said, heaven and earth is not a place you must find, but a choice you must make. Thank you very much. Do you want questions now, or do we have time? I don't know, Vasant?
Yes. If anybody wants to ask questions.
Difficult, and it will start. Yep.
Even the faculty members.
Faculty also is allowed to ask questions. Good students? No, I don't like good students. I like naughty students. Yeah. Any question, Vasant? Maybe you can set the ball rolling. See, I put him on the mat. Sorry.
Could be louder, but I wanted to use the mic for the fact. Now, incidentally, I had one of her students, and that's going to be a surprise for her this noon too, called me up and said, I saw the poster that Dr. Ananda is coming, and I have something to share with you. So, when she was diagnosed with the cancer, she was about to go for the operation probably that night. So she called up one of her students and said, you know what, can you do me a favor? I said, sure ma'am, please let me know. I said, I'm going in for a small operation. It's just, I'll be back very soon, right? Just handle my dance class for some time, keep engaging the classes, and the moment you even get the ball rolling, I'll be back. To be saying that, and then that girl goes in tears the moment she says that on the phone to me and says she's going to come back to you this afternoon to meet you as a special surprise. But as a person, I mean, I think today there are students, and the question that I would like to roll for the girls or for the boys too, for that matter, we all are juggling between dual careers where our passion and profession sometimes are absolutely different. Very few get as lucky as you or me, where we are able to make the concept passion is equal to profession, and we are able to live the life. So I'm sure there are a lot of students here who feel they have no idea why they're doing MBA because they want to be something. They have no bloody idea why they're coding because they actually want to code some tunes, being a musician, and a lot more. As somebody who's real inner passion, that means a lot of them are studying or doing degrees because of the parents or for a friend or probably for your girlfriends. So this could be reason anything. So what would be your one strong punch advice to all of them? Yes, you told them to follow the passion, but because of the dual careers and the sustainability and the financial things, how should men today and girls also to be empowered to look at standing for themselves as saying, though there's no money, I want to do this?
Yeah, I think that's a very wonderful question. How many of you are tennis players? How many of you at least love tennis? I love tennis. Have you watched Wimbledon? How many of you love Federer? Yes, all the girls love Federer. Okay. Okay. Now, unless you're Federer or you're Serena Williams, and you play at that level, and you have your passion and your career, both meeting like that, unless you're that, not many of us have that kind of a passion that will give you that kind of a paycheck. Correct? If all of us were able to play like, say, Federer, which is his passion, which is his career, and fantastic. But not many of us, as I said, have that kind of passions. As I said, we could be very bad bathroom singers. No, nobody's going to pay you for that. But the trick is to be able to navigate both. That's the question. How do you do that? Invariably, there is 24 hours is a really long time in one day. No, you don't think so? I think 24 hours is really long in one day. We have enough time and more to do a lot of things. I start my rehearsal at 6 in the morning because I have to be in office at 9. My girls also come at 6. So time management is an important thing. Prioritization is the most important thing. Like if you're having an exam tomorrow in balance sheet or accountancy, I'm not going to encourage you to go and sing that day. That day you're going to work on your balance sheets. So prioritization in your mind is important. Cutting the dross, cutting the kachra, simple. WhatsApp, Facebook, all that. I know I'm also on it. It's not that I'm not. But sometimes we are so caught up in the clutter. He said, she said, forward, backward. This is becoming a mess. You children are caught up in those things. The adults are caught up in Arnab Goswami's news. Okay. So it could be, what is it you will cut at what time? And please remember that one feeds the other. It's always like that. If you have, like both of us have dance careers, Vasant and I, which is not a great paying career. But because we have an alternate career, that ends up feeding and supporting the dance and helps us to not compromise on our value systems. So again, the ball is back in your court. There's no formula. There's no hard and fast rule how you can work. And this I will extend to all of you who come back to service after motherhood. For many of you, that is an issue. For many women, especially in the industry, I see coming back after a child, after taking that 6-month break, becomes even more difficult. How do you navigate having a child at home, having to come to work? These are issues. It is what is the choices you will make at what time. If your child is sick, it doesn't matter if you're getting an award here, you will still be at home. So those are the priorities you will still make. It is not about getting ahead of someone else. It's what is your path. It doesn't matter. Life is not a race. Life is not, nobody is going to give you a gold medal at the end of the day. Find your path. Make your decisions and make it with honesty. Honesty to what you want. That honesty is what I want. That honesty will come in everything else. Don't do it because your friend got some big job, so I have to do it. If it doesn't suit you, don't do it. Right? And balancing. It's like walking 2 tracks. Sorry, I'm a railway officer, I have to start talk tracks. So, walking it like a good acrobat. That's what we do. How do you cycle? Tell me, what is the balance you find in cycle? If you stop, you'll fall, right? So cycling is always about finding the momentum and the balance at the same time, and you move forward, right? Is that the physics? Have I said it right? So it's about that. Same thing as life. Life is also similar. It's finding the balance, finding the break, finding the momentum, and the movement to take you forward. And when you have to stop, you'll stop. So it's like that. Or it's like the trapeze artist. Sometimes you see these young children, 5-year-old children who come from Rajasthan, these poor children who we'll find them on the roadside, they'll be doing this trapeze act. What are they doing? They're literally going inch by inch forward on that. So it's a very gentle thing that they do. Same thing we should find those connections in our lives. And we do it. It's not that we don't. It's just a question of recognizing it. Yeah? So I'll take 2 more questions quickly from the boys at the back or from the girls here. You're too good, yeah. Yeah? Okay then. Yeah, you have one question. Good. Okay.
I'm not a feminist because
Exactly.
I'm in
Yeah.
equality most of the time. The thing is, I find when I was in Kerala till 8th standard. So when I came to Karnataka, I found it's not like it's not about Kerala or Karnataka. I found in most of the families who have like 3 or more than 3 children, they have 2 girl child and 1 boy child. They focus more on the boy than the girls. They're like, oh, now the boy takes a future, now the girls, they're going to other family. So we don't have to give more education or more facilities to the girls. Actually, I have seen these girls not complaining yet. I have asked to them, and they were like, we don't bother it. So like, I used to ask them, why don't you ask your parents why you do this to us? Like, why can't you treat us equal? Just the way you treat your son.